Hi guys, I am going to show you today how to use WeVideo to create a video demonstration or talk or whatever it is that you need to use. So first we go to wevideo.com. You can use your teacher login and sign up and you'll get a free trial for 30 days. After 30 days, I think it's like $60 a year. So for me, I create a ton of videos all the time. So for me, it's completely worth it. It might not be for you, but there's other free options as well. But this is a really nice tool. It's definitely my favorite. So I just wanted to share with you how to use it. So first I'm gonna log in because I already have an account, my school account. And then up at the top, there is a bunch of tabs. I'm gonna click on projects so that I can create a new one. These are just old ones. I'm gonna click the plus sign. We'll name this one WeVideo Practice. It's already there. I don't usually do a description, but you can, and then it's just me working on it, so I'm gonna call it personal. And click next. These are all old files that I have created in the past. You can reuse a file that you've created with WeVideo if you'd like to. I'm not going to for this, so I'm just going to click next. And then I'm going to hit create video. Then there's templates here you can choose from. I usually do the blank one. Start editing. Then the first thing that I'm going to do is add a video. So the video part, that's usually my demonstration. I usually do my demonstration without talking at all because then I like to speed up my video and then do a narration on top so that the video doesn't take as long. That's probably my favorite part of WeVideo is the ability to easily speed up your recording. So first I'm going to go under My Media and click Record and Webcam and Next. It opens up the webcam and then I'm going to change it to my document camera, which is just plugged in. And then I'm going to click Start Recording. Then I teach all the things, how to use scissors, don't write on your brother, all those things. And then I stop recording. And then you can record it again if you play it and you don't like it, whatever works. And then you click Save and it's going to drop it into the video one file over here on the side. So this is a timeline. There's the number of seconds right here. And then this is how long your video is. So this video is super short. It's only, a little over 6 seconds long. So really short, but that's fine. I'm going to slide it all the way back then to the beginning. And the first thing that I like to do after I've got my video is I like to adjust the speed. So I'm going to click on the video and then click this little teeny pencil icon. Down at the very end, the very last tab here, it looks like a teeny metronome is the speed. So under value, I'm going to speed it up. Usually I do 2 clicks. So there was like 1, so 2 or 3. And click Save. So that shortened my video down from 6 seconds to 2 seconds. So really short. This is obviously not a real video. Normal ones are longer, but it does save you a lot of time. Then the second thing I like to do is add titles. So I'm going to go up here to text, click text. This opens a whole bunch of animated text boxes. So I like these ones down here. You can experiment with them, find ones that you like, but these are my favorites. So I'm going to click this one. Click and drag. I'm going to put it right over top of my video file and it's going to ask me to insert and push. That's going to mean that it's going to push my video down out of the way. And I'm going to say, yes, please do that. Now, this is a little bit long. So this animated, this little text box automatically pops in as 7 seconds. I don't want it to be 7 seconds. I'm going to shorten it up as much as I can, which is 4 seconds. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the ending text. So I'm going to plop another one in here. It also is automatically like 7 seconds long, so I'm just going to shorten it up. I just click and drag the end. Then what I like to do next is add some transitions so that it's not like, oh, text and then bam, video and then bam, back to text again. Just makes it a little bit more gradual. The transitions feature, of course, on the day that I want to teach you this is acting up. So what you should be able to do is click transitions and then drag and drop the transition that you want, and it should turn green and it should let you put it here. Obviously that's not working. So what you can do if you're playing with this today is you can slide your other clips down a smidge and make a little space in between here. And then it was letting me put them in on one side, but it wasn't letting me put them in on the other side. So you can play around with your transitions maybe tomorrow. Give it a day to fix whatever's going on with it and kind of work out whatever WeVideo kinks it has going on. For today, we're just going to skip the transitions, but they are there and they are nice when they work. All right, so then the next thing that I do is I add my narration. So if you chose to just talk along with your video, then you can totally skip this part. But what I like to do is I like to add a narration of me explaining everything, because then I can talk a little bit faster and eliminate some of the downtime, the waiting time in the video. So I'm going to click on my clip here and I'm going to completely turn off the volume. So it's not going to play any background noise or anything that would go along with this video. And then I'm going to go put my timeline bar where I want it to start, where I want my narration to start, which is here. I'm going to go to my media. I'm going to click narrate. And then what's going to happen is it's going to play my video up here while I record. So I can help pace myself. This is how you record when you're doing a narration. And then stop. And then save. You can redo it if you don't like it. It drops it underneath in the voiceover box. Now, usually when I start, I always end up having like a weird pause at the beginning and the end. So I slide this down. If you click on the file that you're editing, slide your timeline bar to where you want it, and then click this little scissors, it'll chop that clip. So you can click on that beginning piece and then hit the delete key on your keyboard, and it'll get rid of any extra nonsense that you don't want. Like that. And then you can go to the beginning of the audio and play. This is how you record when you're doing a narration. All right, good enough. Then after I've got my narration done and I've got my video done the way that I like, the last thing that I add is music. So under audio, there's a whole bunch of free songs you can click on and listen to, but the first one is actually my favorite one. So I'm going to click and drag that one, and I'm just going to put it in the audio 1 slot on my timeline. And then there's a few things that I do here. The first thing that I do is I know I don't need this whole song. Sometimes I need 2 files, and then I just put them one next to the other, but usually I don't. So I'm going to click on that audio, and then I'm going to click on my timeline so that I can get my timeline bar right in line with the end of my video clip, which is right here. I'm going to make sure I've got my sound selected. I'm going to hit that snip tool. I'm going to click on the end of it and click that delete key and get rid of all that extra audio so that it doesn't make my video weirdly long like listening to music time. Then I'm going to go to the beginning of my narration, and I'm going to select that same part, the audio, and I'm going to snip it there, but I'm not going to delete anything. I'm going to go to the end of my narration. I'm going to snip it again, but again, I'm not going to delete anything. And this time I'm just going to play with the volume. So the middle piece, I know that I don't want the middle piece to play at full volume because it would overpower the narration, and I don't want that. So if I click on the middle piece, this little teeny speaker opens up. I can click that, and then I can drag the volume down. So I'm going to set the volume to about 15, roughly. And then this piece right here will only play at 15% volume, while this piece right here is turned up the whole way. Then I want this to be a gradual transition down from 100% volume to 15% volume. And I would like it to be a gradual transition back up so that it's not quite so abrupt. So I'm going to click on the front piece, and I'm going to hit the audio button again. This time I'm going to click fade. I don't want it to fade in, so I'm going to change the time to 0 seconds fading in, but I do want it to fade out, and I'm fine with it taking a second to fade out. So I'm going to change this to 0 and 1. Click off of it. Right here, there's this blue line. This blue line is like the volume. So I don't want this to drop all the way down to 0. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to drag it up to 15-ish% so that it doesn't drop all the way down to 0 and then kick back in and go up to 15 for this middle part. And then I'm basically going to do that in reverse for the end piece. Back on the speaker, click fade. I want it to fade in this time, but I don't want it to fade out. So I'm going to get rid of the 1 here, put a 0, click off of it, and then drag up the volume to 15-ish%, like that. Then I'm going to take this all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to play the whole thing and just test it out. This is how you record when you're doing a narration. That looks fine. So I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to go up here to finish. I'm going to give it a title. and then click set. Now, normally it gives you some pictures. It just plucks some random shots out of your video. Since my video was only 2 seconds, so it didn't really have anything. So you can pick a thumbnail that you like best, and then you can choose standard definition or high definition. I always use standard definition. I don't need fancy videos, so I just do the standard. And then you have options for how you upload it. You can link it. Technically, you can link it to your Google Drive. I'm not sure if I recommend that because then you're basically telling WeVideo that they can access your Google Drive. I don't know if that's a good idea with your school account, so I maybe wouldn't do that. The YouTube link you can do as well. You're also saying that you're letting WeVideo talk to your YouTube, so that's your decision. What I like to do though is just download it. So that's the triangle here, and then I'm going to click export. It takes a second to load, and then it's going to come up and say, yep, this right here. It's going to say that your video is queued. It usually takes like a minute or two to download, and then it'll basically it's buffering. Once it's done with that, there's a button you can click download and then export, and it'll download right to your computer as an MP4. And then you can go to your YouTube channel and YouTube Studio. You can create a video and upload it that way. The YouTube could be a whole nother talk. So I'll save that. You can experiment with YouTube. But I hope that helps.